Okay, so I'm going to mix woven, and this is woven material. There's no stretch to it. It's made out of silk. And then this is stretch material. This middle area right here. That's t-shirt material which has stretch, and this is woven material with no stretch. So, sorry, I'm at the sewing machine right now. And the way to do this is I already did one side. I already did one side, and you'll get a gathered kind of look. It's not a ruffle, so you're not going to be getting a ruffle, but you can see that it's gathered. But I needed this because it's all, I would say it's the waistline. So I haven't seen a video, or maybe my searches aren't good enough. So what you do is you take the material that you line up the edge. Like this is the side seam, so I'm gonna line up the side seam here, and you pin it. It's best just to work with pins all around. And then you do the other side. You go all the way to the other side. See, this material would have been, if I lined this up, it would have, this woven is a lot longer, okay, than the this I'm going to cut off, but the woven is a lot longer than the stretch. So then you go to the other side of both the woven and the stretch, and you pick the end. So you see how that's gonna line up. That's going to then be, I'm gonna cut that off, the waistline. And you line up the ends, and you set the pin, you put another pin, all right, in there. Then you find the middle of the woven, which you line up the two. You just find the middle of the woven, and then you also find the middle of the, this video is like going to be ridiculous. But now, because I have the other one already done, which is what I suggest to do, you do one side and then you do the other. So that this is the middle, and I put a pin in here to mark it, right? That's the middle of the woven, and then you find the middle of the stretch. And this is you line up those two pins again, but then you go to the stretch side and find the middle as you stretch, which is a lot shorter. And you put a pin. Actually, you don't have to put the pin in there so much, but, well, that side came off. But then this is the middle, and then you take the pins out, but then you put the pin in to one. You line up the pins, and then you put it in the one. Let me go and put this back together over here. Now I can't see the pin's still there, but that came out. I should have already had this done, but that's basically, so then you find the middle of those middles, right? That's the end here. Then you find, now you have half the garment, right? Half of the half. Now you line up these two pins, the end and the middle, and you find the middle of that, and you keep going smaller and smaller. I'm going to put a pin through here, and now I'm going to find the middle of that's the middle, and you line this up and that up. I just lost a pin again. But when you want to sew it, so now you see how that's gaping, but the way it's going to ruffle, so then you find the middle of this, right? That's the middle. But when you sew it, it's going to, and then you find the middle of the stretch side, and then you take that pin and you put it together. And then you just continue to do that. I'll do this one. Pretty much find the middle of this one, middle of this, you put it together, kind of. And then you can also even, like, now the stretchy one is going to want to, you could also bend it. You see that? You don't want that. You want it even, so that's like the even. You pin that, and you see how now it's like a little bubble on this side. Look, then you kind of like even that. This is how many, it's useful to put this many pins in. All right, then you find the middle of this one. And that's probably as many pins as I need for that little bit there. But you see how it's gonna stretch, and then you could just use a straight stitch. As you're working it in the machine, I would say you do like you do the woven side up and the stretchy on the bottom. Yeah, let's see, this one's coming out. This one wants to come out. And the stretchy is gonna, the stretch side is gonna want to slide downward. So downward and have the woven come out. So when you go to sew, I would say the woven on top, because you could stretch the bottom better. And when the foot of the sewing machine is going over, you want to keep that stretched, because you want to hold on the, if the foot's here, you want to hold on the end that's coming out as well, I found, because without doing that, if you're just pulling this one, you could break your sewing needle, which is what I did because I wasn't holding from the other side, because you want that stretch all the way through. And that's pretty much how you do the stretch. And as you can see, well, am I going to show this? The waistline will then be kind of look like this, but when it's on the body, it's okay, it'll kind of stretch. So here we have the stretchy, the woven that's kind of gathered with ruffle, but it's not a ruffle, and then the stretchy again, that's in the middle. So that's going to be a unique design, and I hope that helps anyone mixing woven and stretch. I know if anybody watches and comes across this issue, I'm going to get comments because I don't explain myself well enough, but between me talking and showing the video, perhaps you'll get it. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, please. I'm going to end.